care of the interruptions. Now let's take care of the fun.
Don't do this, Gunther. Just keep away from me. You'll be sorry.
You're gonna be glad, honey.
No.
Now, what do you think of this?
Get away from me.
Well.
I mean it. Stay there. Don't you come one step closer.
Now, you're just starting to make this interesting, honey.
I held him off with the cane. I don't know for how long. I suppose it couldn't have been more than 5 or 10 minutes.
Sounds to me like he just was waiting for trouble. That this attack on Jody maybe was an excuse to tangle with Gavin.
Well, I've met a lot of these guys who seem to get pleasure out of provoking a fight.
Mr. Tyler, don't you see what happened next? Gavin didn't go to the studio to hurt Gunther, not deliberately. He was just defending himself when he shot him.
Yes, it does sound like that. Don't you think so?
Well, I haven't drawn any conclusions yet, Mrs.
Damien, I have told you about Gunther's assaults on Jody. You yourself went to him to warn him about the, you know, the kind of thug we're talking about here.
We're talking about a dead man, Miles. Miss Travis, I'd like you to answer just one question. When you spoke to Gavin Wiley on the telephone, did he tell you he had killed Gunther Wagner?
No. He just said that he shot him.
Then he's not denying it. He did fire the gun.
Yes, he fired it. He fired it because he was forced to.
Because he thought Gunther was going to attack him.
Gunther did attack him. Gavin told me that on the phone. He told me Gunther tried to get the gun away from him.
Now, wait a minute. What I'm trying to say is, why did Gavin use a gun in the first place? What was he afraid of? Gunther wasn't even armed.
He's still a dangerous man, Damien.
Mr. Tyler, wouldn't it be considered an accidental shooting when someone else pulls the trigger, causing their own injury?
Now, that does happen occasionally, but not as often as people would like us to think. It's more often just a common alibi.
Alibi? What are you saying, that Gavin is lying?
Look, Jody, I'm not saying anything like that. I haven't gotten a statement from Gavin. Not directly.
Well, what do you mean? Isn't he down at the studio?
Or at the police station?
Well, frankly, we don't know where he is.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Last time we heard from him, he was on his way to talk to the police.
Look, I don't like to have to say this, but, Gavin ran away from us at the dance studio, and a shot was fired.
Oh, my God, he wasn't...
No. Well, we think he might have been wounded in the leg. We're not certain yet. And he's still a fugitive.
Rita, this is dreadful. But what happened? How? Why? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. The two despised each other. That's what Sky said. So Gavin shot and killed him.
Now listen to me, my dear. Take my advice. Try and get some sleep. Perhaps in the morning things won't be as gloomy as they seem now.
Okay. I better hang up Sky's tux. He's about as good at that as I am.
Well, that's a change. If there's one thing I remember about Skylar as a child, it was that he was terribly fastidious. Everything had to be in place.
He's changed. What's this? It's the watch I gave him. Can't believe he just lets it hang loose in his pocket. Skylar is getting awfully careless.
Now, look, Chief, I'm not trying to take sides. I'm not trying to say that Gunther was right and Gavin was wrong. I mean, Gunther could be crude at times. But I can tell you one thing for sure. His interest in Jody Travis was more good-humored than passionate.
I don't see anything good-humored about attempted rape. Or passionate, for that matter. Rape is a crime of violence, not passion.
Well, I'm not trying to excuse Gunther. I'm just trying to explain him a bit. I mean, what he did with Jody Travis was more teasing than anything else. There was no serious intent there. And, of course, the madder Gavin got, the more Gunther teased. He was that sort of a man.
Man after my own heart.
And apparently, Jody misunderstood Gunther as well, and she made Gavin feel that he had to protect her honor. Unfortunately, Gavin got carried away.
You sound like you're feeling sorry for Gunther.
Well, I was fond of the man, Chief. He did work for me for 3 years. I knew he had faults. I also knew his virtues.
Oh? I'd like to hear of one.
Well, Chief, when you've got money, you find out that a lot of people in this world are leeches. Gunther wasn't one of those people. He was loyal. Very loyal. He was an old-fashioned, dedicated servant of the old school. You don't find very many of those these days.
Well, maybe they're not as well paid as Gunther was.
Actually, I blame myself. I should have taken Gavin's threat more seriously.
Wait a minute, what did you say, Gavin's threat?
Well, didn't you know? Gavin came to the house the other night.
But to see you?
No. I was upstairs sleeping. Apparently heard another one of these stories about these so-called insults to Jody, and I came downstairs just in time to hear Gavin say that he had bought a gun, that he was keeping it here in the studio, and that he intended to use it.
Wait a minute, are you sure those were his exact words, that he intended to use it?
Yes, I believe those were just his words. Of course, I didn't believe him. I didn't believe he had the gun. I didn't believe he'd use it, but evidently I was wrong.
It's a very serious statement, Mr. Whitney. I hope you realize that. That implies that this is the result of premeditation.
Well, no, I don't believe that. I mean, I don't believe that Gavin planned to kill Gunther tonight, but maybe he just seized the opportunity when he had it.
Not the best I can do, Bobby. Your friend here was real lucky. Bullet must have just bounced off the bones. You got strong bones, kid.
Yeah, well, I broke this leg once. They say broken bones mend stronger.
Yeah, well, just the same, I don't think you'll be doing too much discoing in the next couple of weeks.
Doc, what about the pain? Can you give him something?
Hey, Bobby, I'm the prince of prescriptions, only if you want some pills, that'll be extra.
How much? I told you, I've only got 50.
Well, maybe the kid's got some money.
Oh, yeah, I have 25 on me, I think.
I'll take it. He's only got 20. It's enough.
Well, I guess that'll have to do. Give him one of these every 3 hours. That ought to do it.
No.
Hey, what about that 50? Hey, Bobby. It's been real nice seeing you. How's Mom and Fred Sharkey?
Doing life, I hope.
Looks like you're keeping the same kind of company.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. You don't know how wrong you are. Gavin, take this.
What is it?
I don't know. He said it would help the pain. Come on.
You gave him all your money, Bobby. You shouldn't have done that.
It's okay. I've got another couple hundred. And you had more than 20. You had 45 in your wallet. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about? This is all wrong, Bobby. I didn't mean to kill Gunther.
I know. Shh, I know.
But I gotta convince the police of that. I gotta tell them that they're making a mistake. Maybe they just didn't check closely enough. That I didn't shoot him from 10 feet away. He was right next to me, and
Babe, you know I believe you.
I made a mistake. I shouldn't have run. It makes me look even more guilty. I can't make any more mistakes. I gotta call him and turn myself in.
Gavin, you can't. Listen, Gavin, people go to jail for a whole lot less than what you did.
I gotta go, Bobby.
Gavin, you're too weak. You can't just walk into their arms. You don't know what prison is like. You can't imagine what it's like. Gavin, think it over. Wait till morning. Wait till you're feeling better. You can deal with it then.
No, by morning they'll be sure I'm a murderer. I gotta call.
Gavin, you can't. Gavin, please. We'll make the call. I promise. We'll make it together. Okay?
Okay. Oh, my God.
Gavin! Gavin, are you okay? Gavin! Okay. Right here.
What time is it?
It's almost noon.
Almost noon. Guys, slept that late?
You needed the rest. It did you good.
No, it was those pills your friend gave me. They really knocked me out. What happened? Did the cops come? Bobby, you called them, didn't you?
Gavin, I was going to call, but you passed out. I didn't know what to do.
I told you, the longer I wait, the worse it makes me look. They'll be sure that I killed Gunther if I keep hiding from them.
Look, let's deal with this later. After you've had some food. You've got to keep your strength up, Gavin.
What strength? I don't think I could lift my hands to put them in the handcuffs.
Don't say that. I can't stand the thought of that. Look, I don't have anything in the house. I'm going to have to go out, okay?
All right, yeah, anything you say.
Okay, listen, I'll get you some nice hot soup. I'm just going across the street to Sid's. I'll be right back.
Why don't you set the table after the people get here? Oh, then the silver won't get dusty.
Well, that's a good suggestion, honey, but we'll do it my way, okay? People don't like knives and forks rattling in their face when they're sitting down to eat.
Oh, it was just an idea.
Is that what you did in the last place you were?
Oh, we didn't have any knives and forks. All they ever served was hot dogs and hamburgers.
I thought you said it was called the Waldorf.
Oh, yes. Waldorf Burger and Frank Emporium. The health department closed it.
Must have been all the dust on the silverware.
Oh, but we didn't use silverware.
Oh, never mind, honey. Just keep setting the table like I told you. Well. If it isn't the long arm of the law.
Hi, Sid. I see you got a replacement for Bobby.
I didn't have much choice. She really meant what she said. She doesn't want to wait on tables anymore.
That's too bad. I know how fond you were.
Well, she's a good kid. She did a good job. I don't know about this new one. She ain't exactly a 5-rated Kappa, but she was the best I could do on short notice. I guess you heard about Gavin Wiley.
Yeah, that's about all I've heard all day long. Sid, I just don't understand it. I know Gavin is not a hit-and-run type.
Well, I never figured him to shoot anybody.
Just wish he'd show up and explain what happened.
Oh, I can explain what happened. Did you know I talked to the cops? That good-looking guy, you know.
You mean Tyler?
Yeah, that's the one. I told him what that big gorilla did to Jody. Well, he practically tore all her clothes off in the studio. You should have seen her last night when she came in here. Well, you can't blame Gavin for getting sore.
Sid, there is sore and there is sore, but I mean, to shoot somebody.
You don't think they'll send him to jail for it? I mean, he was defending his girlfriend.
No, Sid, his girlfriend was here, remember? Gunther was not threatening her, at least not at that time.
Well, maybe he was threatening him.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, thank God. Look who's come to the rescue, I hope. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Sid.
Hi, Bobby.
I hope you're coming in here to tell me you changed your mind.
No, I didn't. I just came in for something to eat.
Well, I knew it was too good to be true. Well, take a seat. I'll get you a menu.
Thanks.
So, Sid tells me you're not going to be working here anymore. It's too bad.
Yeah, I thought it was time for a change. How'd things with you?
Not too good, Bobby. I'm avoiding getting involved in a case. A very certain case. I suppose you've heard all about it.
Yeah, you mean Gavin.
Yeah. I suppose it's lucky that I've got the day off, or I'd have to be searching for him with everybody else. It's no fun trying to track down a friend.
The police are really searching for him? To arrest him?
Well, there's no official warrant issued yet,
Calvin, what do you think? I mean, will they arrest him when they find him?
Bobby, I don't see where they have any choice.
For murder? But it was only self-defense. I mean, that's what I heard. He shot the guy only to protect himself.
Yeah, well, things just aren't that simple.
Here you go, Calvin. Bobby, you know this menu by heart. What can I get you?
I just want something to go, Sid. I tell you what, give me the chicken vegetable soup in a big container, okay?
Well, that sounds simple. Calvin?
Just bring me a club sandwich. I really haven't got any appetite today.
I don't either.
Cheer up, Dee Dee. You should be thrilled. Marcus Williams was a loser. You should be happy he doesn't want you to handle his case anymore. This is the case I'm interested in.
Which one is that?
Oh, really isn't a case yet. Did you read that?
Oh, yeah. Now, why would you want a case like this? It's open and shut.
Except that I know Gavin Wiley. He's not a murderer. That could be a crime of passion, or it could be a self-defense, not premeditated. And think of the publicity. I mean, think of the glamour. Choreographer killed chauffeur of impresario because of attempted rape of young dancer. What I did for love.
Oh, no. And how exactly would you get him off? Apparently, he's already admitted killing the man. And he's a fugitive just to clinch it.
It does present a problem. But sometimes, Dee Dee, you can barge through the truth with an impassioned plea. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have we become so callous in our society that we no longer recognize the right for a man to defend the honor of young womanhood? Have we become so permissive in our society that we no longer reward gallantry or righteous indignation? What if it were your loved one that was brutally assaulted by this barbaric, belligerent, bald-headed behemoth? What if it were your daughter, or your wife, or your sweetheart, or your Aunt Zelda?
Oh.
See, the idea would be to make it look as if Gunther deserved to die, which is probably the truth. Hello. You have reached the offices of Scott and Nelson. Please leave your name and number after the beep, and we will return your call presently. Please wait for the beep. Beep.
Hello, this is Calvin Stoner calling for Dee Dee Bannister.
Oh, Calvin, how you doing? Any word on the Gavin Wiley case?
Cliff, is that you?
Yeah.
Well, Gavin Wiley's case is not a case exactly, at least not until he shows up.
Oh, he's still in the lamb, huh? Well, look, whenever you meet him, you tell him that I'm interested in handling his defense. He's going to need a good lawyer.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm calling Dee Dee.
What? Well, yeah, sure, right. It's for you.
Hello?
Hello, Dee Dee, this is Calvin. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good. Listen, I was wondering if you might be free for dinner tonight.
No. No. As a matter of fact, I'm not.
You absolutely sure? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of down today, and I just thought, quiet dinner for two.
No, Calvin, I don't think that would be a very good idea.
Well, look, it wouldn't be purely social. I mean, I've got this friend, a good friend, who's just in trouble up to his eyebrows. And, it's legal trouble, and I thought maybe you could, help me figure out some options for him,
Sort of a legal consultation.
Yeah.
In that case, I should be able to rearrange my schedule.
Oh, good. I'll call you later.
Yeah, I blame myself on a couple of counts. First of all, when Jody first came into Sid's Tavern and told us what Gunther had been doing to her, I should have called the police then and there.
But Jody asked you not to, didn't she?
Yeah, well, big deal. When I went into the studio, I should have been a lot more careful. It just never occurred to me there might be somebody hiding there. I just walked right in and went right over to Gunther to see what I could do to help him.
There was no reason for you to do anything else, was there? Didn't you say that Gavin had phoned Sid's Tavern and told Jody what happened?
Yeah, he said that he had shot Gunther and that Gunther was in need of medical help, and Jody told him that I would take care of it.
And then he went directly to your house, right?
That's right.
You're sure about that, aren't you?
Well, I can't be positive. I was otherwise engaged.
Yeah, how is that lump on your head? You have anybody look at that yet?
No, I haven't.
So it's true what they say about doctors being the worst patients.
Listen, it's all right. The swelling is down. There's no broken skin. I'm not dizzy. I'm not seeing double. There's no damage. Truth is that the injury did more harm to Gunther. If it hadn't happened, Gunther might have been saved.
All right, that brings us back to the motive for the attack on you, then.
That seems fairly obvious to me. What about the police?
Somebody didn't want Gunther saved. I think it's most likely the original assailant. Meaning Gavin Wiley.
Wait a minute. Somebody else could have been there, you know, hiding when Gavin shot Gunther, or somebody could have come in shortly afterwards.
Miles, anything's possible. But this is the most obvious answer. The most obvious answer is usually right.
You don't think that Gavin went straight to Miles' house, that he waited at the studio for Miles?
He didn't call the ambulance first. He called Jody Travis.
I understand that, can't you?
He didn't call an ambulance after he
I was halfway down the block. He knew I was coming to help Gunther.
That's right. He knew you were coming. And he could have waited for you.
I don't believe that. I don't believe Gavin hit me on the head any more than I believe he shot Gunther in cold blood.
Why don't you believe it? Because of the facts or because Jody Travis is your sister-in-law?
She is in love with him, isn't she?
Yes, she is. I don't know. I guess I just don't want to see it all end like this.
Look, Miles, I'll have Detective Tyler stop by your house and get Jody's signature on a formal statement. There's no need to have her come down here.
Oh, I appreciate that, Larry. I don't think she would enjoy a visit to headquarters right now, despite the good company.
Look, tell her not to worry. Tell her we're still in the fact-finding stage and that no charges have been filed as yet against her boyfriend.
Will that be true 24 hours from now?
Now, that I can't promise you.
Didn't think you could. Go on.
Take care, Miles. Is that the limit of your patience, Derek? 24 hours?
I think that's being pretty generous, Mike. I think there should be a warrant out for his arrest right now, if for nothing else, for resisting an officer.
He also was wounded. That means he needs medical attention.
I know. And he may be afraid to try and get it, knowing that all bullet wounds have to be reported. So for his own sake, I hope he turns himself in soon.
When he does, maybe we'll get the whole story.
Mike, we've already got the whole story. He told Jody Travis that he struggled with Gunther for the gun.
That doesn't mean it happened that way.
It's the oldest alibi in the world, and we happen to know that it's not true.
For sure?
The medical examiner said Gunther was shot from at least 10 feet. Mike, there were no powder burns. You can't be shot at close range without leaving powder burns as a result.
I see.
The autopsy's going to bear this out. He lied to Jody. There's no reason to think he's going to tell us the truth. That's why I think he's on the run right now.
Yes, it's true. Gunther was more than an employee, and even though he was well paid, he always gave me more than my money's worth. He was dedicated. He was loyal.
And what were Mr. Wagner's duties?
Well, primarily he was my chauffeur. Now, I do a lot of business by car, but he did more than just drive.
Then would you describe him as a sort of butler, valet?
Well, Gunther did for me the things that needed to be done. I'm going to miss him. Very much. And frankly, I'm quite angry that there have been no formal charges brought against the man who killed him in cold blood.
Well, I understand that the police haven't completed the investigation.
No. Mrs. Carr, the facts are painfully simple. Gunther was behaving poorly towards Wiley's little lady friend.
She is your principal dancer, isn't she? I mean, Jody Travis does work for you, doesn't she?
Yes, she has, and she may again, I'm not sure. But the point is that she became annoyed at Gunther's teasing, ran out of the dance studio, which gave Wiley just the opportunity he needed.
What do you mean, opportunity?
Well, this may sound harsh, Mrs. Carr, Nancy, but I'll tell you just what I told the police. Wiley actually boasted to Gunther that he had bought a gun to use against him. He was trying to provoke an encounter.
I see.
And indeed he did. And Gunther is dead. And if that isn't murder, pure and simple, well, I don't know what is.
Well, what about pure and simple self-defense?
Come, Mrs. Carshall, you know that Wiley lied. There was no struggle for the gun. He aimed it and deliberately killed him from a distance. Now, I'm not trying to whitewash Gunther. If I had known what was going on between him and Jody Travis, I would have fired him. But Wiley fired a gun. I think that remedy is a bit severe, don't you?
Oh, Mr. Whitney, I don't have any opinion. Really, my job is to remain objective.
Well, I can't remain objective. I intend to do everything I can to make sure that Wiley is captured and punished. And even that won't be enough.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about Dr. Miles Cavanaugh. The man who went up to save Gunther and then watched him bleed to death.
Dr. Cavanaugh was injured. He was knocked unconscious.
Dr. Cavanaugh says he was knocked unconscious.
Well, why should you doubt that?
Because Cavanaugh had just as much animosity towards Gunther as Wiley did. You can ask him that yourself.
Well, now, just what should I ask him? I do know that they quarreled about Jody.
Nancy, they did more than quarrel. They came to hand-to-hand combat. I know, I was there. And I'm not at all surprised that Cavanaugh, when he went up to that dance studio and saw Gunther there, bleeding to death, just let him.
Are you suggesting that Dr. Cavanaugh lied? That he left Gunther Wagner to die?
Are you still being objective, Mrs. Carr?
I can't believe you're serious. You have no right to make a charge like that against a man of Dr. Cavanaugh's reputation.
It sounds as if you're not going to print it.
No, I am not, because I print facts, Mr. Whitney. And frankly, I think you should be grateful, because what you just told me borders on slander.
Well, Mrs. Carr, I've got a well-deserved reputation for protecting my own. I intend to see that justice is served. And yours is not the only newspaper in this city.
Thank you, Mr. Whitney. I'll let myself out.
Calvin. What would happen if Gavin turned himself in?
Well, I, for one, would be a hell of a lot happier, I can tell you that.
Don't you believe he's innocent?
Bobby, what I believe is not important. Gavin's explanations aren't even important. It just does not look like self-defense.
What does that mean? I mean, if the police already think he's lying...
Here you go, Bobby. One large container of chicken with vegetable. I put plenty of chicken in it.
Thank you, Sid. How much do I owe you?
Ah, it's about time I bought you a meal. It's on the house, honey. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Well, I'll see you.
I can't believe she ordered that.
Why?
Well, Bobby once told me that she hates soup. She's not too fond of chicken either.
Gavin. 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 I just saw Calvin. He was at Sid's place.
Calvin, did he come up with you? Didn't you tell him I'm here?
No, I didn't. I couldn't.
Why not? You would have been the perfect man to bring me in.
Gavin, you don't understand. He said if they find you, they're going to charge you with murder. They don't believe it was self-defense, Gavin.
Well, I have to believe it. It's the truth.
You can't turn yourself in. I mean, there's just no way. They're going to take you away forever.
No, I can get a lawyer.
What are you talking about? What did you say to me last night about the man? He was shot from a distance.
Well, they're wrong.
Look, maybe they want you to be guilty. I mean, this is a big case. There's a lot of controversy. The cops got to make themselves look good. Don't ask me to call them, Gavin. I can't do it. I can't just tell them to come get you and send you straight to prison. I can't do that. Do you understand?
Yeah. No. Bobby, I don't know what to do.
We'll figure out something. You gotta eat first. We'll work it out, Gavin. I promise. You and I will work it out. Look, I'm not even sure they're doing him any good. What was in that stuff anyway? Doc, don't you even care what you give people? No, forget. I'll take care of him. How are you?
Oh, hot.
No. I can't afford an air conditioner. Wait a minute, I'll get you something.
Let's stay with me.
I'm not going out. I'm just going to get you something for your head. Here, babe. This will keep you cool.
Don't leave me.
I'm not...
I don't want to be alone.
I'll stay here with you, Gavin. I'm right here.
Don't leave me.
I'll never leave, Gavin. Never.
None of this now. We've got work to do. You can do your stargazing later.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry.
We don't have to, you know. I just thought that a little work might take your mind off of things.
No, I'm afraid nothing's gonna do that. I just keep thinking about Gavin. Keep wondering where he is, how he is.
Well, maybe a little heavy work will make you tired and ready for a good night's sleep. Now, that can't do any harm.
Yeah. Nicole, did you bring home the evening paper? I mean, is there anything in there about Gavin?
Honey, it's just going to be more of the same. They're not going to drop this story so soon.
May I see it anyway, please?
Look, all I could get was the Monticello Star. The evening news wasn't on the stands yet. I haven't even read it myself yet.
Nicole, there's a story in here about Miles.
Yeah? What?
Down here on the bottom page, it's awful.
Skylar Whitney claims Doctor equally responsible for Gunther Wagner's death. Whitney claims there had been animosity between Dr. Cavanaugh and Gunther Wagner for some time. In fact, he stated, there had been perhaps half a dozen quarrels, and one physical encounter which resulted in a badly bruised wrist for the Whitney chauffeur.
Is that true?
Well, I know there had been quarrels. I don't know about half a dozen.
No, I mean about the physical encounter.
I don't know. Miles never told me anything about that. Hey, let me read the rest of this. Whitney asserts that Dr. Cavanaugh had ample time to call for medical attention and himself admitted that Gunther Wagner might have lived if that attention had been sooner. There is no evidence, Whitney said, that the doctor suffered any kind of injury during his examination of Gunther Wagner. He believes the story of the blow on the head that rendered Dr. Cavanaugh unconscious was a, quote, convenient excuse for allowing the victim to bleed to death.
I don't understand. Why would Sky say all of this?
I don't know. Well, apparently he did, but what's worse, why did the Star print it?
You know what it is? It's probably because I quit the dance company. I mean, he just said this to get back at us.
Well, whatever his reasons are, he is not going to get away with this.
Well, maybe nobody was home.
Miles, have you read this?
Why, what a nice, warm greeting.
Sorry, we're just so upset. Did you read the Star this evening?
Star? No, why?
Because it's awful and you should be suing Skylar Whitney, that's why.
You better read this, Miles.
I can't believe it. That's the worst thing you could say about a doctor. You know what you should do? You should be on the phone with your lawyer right now because that's slander or libel or something.
It's a little bit vicious, isn't it?
It's pure vindictiveness.
Well, there's only one thing to do with trash like this, throw it away.
Miles, you can't do that. You have your reputation to think of.
That's right. And if a transparent lie like that can hurt it, then it ain't much good to begin with, is it?
Well, don't you want to make a rebuttal? I mean, even if you don't want a legal battle, you should at least call the Star and demand a retraction.
Yeah, well, I'd like to call Skylar Whitney and give him a piece of my mind.
I mean, that is virtually a charge of malpractice.
Look, I don't think anybody's going to believe that, Nicole, any more than they're going to believe Skylar Whitney's crocodile tears about Gunther.
Well, according to that article, he certainly sounds very fond of him.
Well, he wasn't. I happen to know there was no love lost between them. I happen to know that Gunther despised Skylar Whitney. As to that, wouldn't dignify it with a public denial. Just ignore it publicly. As to my private dealings with Mr. Whitney, we'll see.
You know, I really don't understand what happened that evening. What I can't figure out is who wanted you unconscious. Do the police have any idea?
Listen, are we going to talk about this all evening? Don't we have some unpacking to do?
No, it's just that you came from headquarters, and I thought maybe they had some kind of a theory.
The police don't confide in me, Jody.
Miles, do they think that it might have been Gavin? Do they?
I know how badly you feel, Calvin. Being an officer of the law and having a good friend break the law.
The thing about it, Dee Dee, is I don't even know what Gavin did. I mean, we know he shot that guy. He admitted that.
But not to the police.
No, to his girlfriend, Jody Travis. But it amounts to the same thing. And then to have him go run off like that when an officer's ordering him to halt.
So now he's a fugitive from justice, too.
Or, so the case appears.
I can see how badly you feel about this, which proves that you do have compassion, even for criminals.
He is not a criminal. Damn it, you know, I am absolutely sure that Gunther provoked him into using that gun.
Calvin, provocation is not a defense. Look, I know I'm just out of law school, but I do know something about the homicide laws. If it were self-defense, that would be another matter.
Well, I don't know what it was. I just know that there were extenuating circumstances. Didi, what he needs more than anything else is a good lawyer.
I'm not after the business.
Oh, come on. Look, I mean, he could do a lot worse. I've seen you be pretty good with some tough cases.
That almost sounds like a compliment.
You know what else I'm worried about is Jody Travis's statement. Now, in her statement, she says that Gavin told her that he shot Gunther at close range, that they were wrestling for the gun, that the trigger got squeezed and it went off. Now, the medical examiner's report is just the opposite. He says that Gunther was shot from a distance.
So one of them is wrong.
Yeah, well, the ME certainly isn't lying. He's got no reason to.
That leaves Gavin.
I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't remember what happened. You know, people get pretty confused at a time like that.
Well, the only one who knows for sure what happened is Gavin. And I think you should concentrate on finding him.
Yeah, right. Have you got any suggestions as to where I should begin this search?
Well, you're his friend. Where would he go? Is there any family that he could turn to?
No, he's got a father in Chicago.
Do you think he could have gone there?
No, he was wounded escaping. I don't think he's got the strength to travel that far.
Well, what about friends? Is there anyone besides you and Jody Travis? Or is there anyone else?
You know, you just may have given me an idea.
Yeah, I think we can. Just come right with me, folks. Will this be all right? It's the most quiet table in the place.
It'll be perfect.
Can I get you two a drink?
Yes, I'd like a glass of white wine. Thank you.
Don't look so blue, Martine. It isn't your color.
Sorry, it's the color of my mood.
Because of what's happened to your old flame, Gavin?
Sydney's Tavern?
Yes, Sid. This is Calvin Stoner. Listen, you might be able to help me with a little information.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
By any chance, would you have an address for Bobby Gerard?
Hi, Sleeping Beauty. Can I get you something to eat?
Oh, I don't think I can handle any solid food, Bobby.
How about some tea?
Yeah, I think I can try that.
How do you feel?
Well, my leg doesn't seem to hurt as much. I think my fever's gone down a little bit.
Fevers always go up at night, you know. That's the way they are. It's funny, huh?
Yeah, it's a scream.
Well, my mother used to always make me tea when I was sick. We really couldn't afford any medicine, much less a doctor.
You were poor, huh?
We weren't starving. My mother always managed to squeeze out some money from Uncle Charlie or Uncle Phil or Uncle Ray, whoever happened to be around.
I take it they weren't real uncles.
They were real to me.
Actually, a little too real.
Only now I can't remember her face.
That's how many there were. My mother was a real pretty lady. Surprised?
Should I be?
She was a beauty contest winner. She was 18, she won the state beauty contest, and then she got into a national contest. I don't know, Miss something or other. She was 4th runner-up.
I'm impressed.
So is she. The only bedtime story I ever heard from my mother was about that beauty contest.
What did she do after the contest? Did she get married?
She did what all of us do. She got older. She kept entering those contests, though, even after she was 30. She lied about her age, but, you know, she couldn't win. She couldn't even be a runner-up.
Did that bother her?
Well, only when she drank.
Oh, I'm beginning to get the picture.
I can still see her. You know, my mind, I can see her sitting there slobbering drunk. My old man couldn't take it finally, and he left. My mother didn't much like being stuck with me. I guess I showed her age.
How'd you deal with it?
Well, when I was about 13, she started pushing me onto dates with guys, you know, hoping one would take me off her hands. They were always older, a lot older. You know what I mean? And they would... I don't know why I'm telling you this. You've got enough problems.
No, go ahead. I'm interested, honestly.
No, it's just that, they were lowlifes. Crooks, guys with prison records. Gangsters. Once my mother got to know one, she got to know a dozen.
What happened to your mom? Where is she?
She's dead. She died of exposure. One night she got real drunk and they found her frozen in our backyard. I don't know, I think she and the guy she was living with had a fight and he threw her out. Still own that house. Isn't that weird?
You're kidding.
I tried to sell it, nobody wants it. I can't believe I told you all that. I've never told anybody, especially a guy.
Why not?
I don't know, I guess, I just never had a guy who cared enough to listen.
You're a very special person, Bobby. I guess that's why I don't want you doing what you're doing with me right now. It'll just get you in a lot of trouble. And you've had too much of it in your own life.
You know, it's funny, isn't it? I mean, you dream about something and you picture it in your mind, and it's not at all what you expected.
Well, I don't know. This place is exactly what I pictured it would be like.
What you pictured it would be like. Golly, you've seen it often enough.
Well, what I meant was I thought this move would be a very happy time for us. Well, at least for me. I had visions of us standing out on the terrace about now drinking champagne.
Champagne? Your history with champagne is not too good. I'll give you a champagne glass with your ginger ale.
I forgot about that. Oh, strange. Here I am, living on top of the world, and thank you. I feel as if I'm on the bottom.
Well, that mood will pass.
I'm sure it will, Jody. Just as soon as the phone rings and we get some word about Gavin.
But what if it never rings? What if he's gone forever?
Gavin, I'm not doing you any favor.
What would you call this?
Don't you understand? I've never had a chance to help anybody before. No one's ever given me the chance to be important.
But why me, Bobby?
Nobody's ever treated me like you have. I mean, you make me feel like a person. Who could that be?
I don't know, but you better ask before you open it.
Who is it?
It's me, Bobby.
Who's me?
Bobby, open the door. I just want to talk to you for a minute. It's Calvin Stoner.
Yeah, it's quite a view, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, I wish I had X-ray vision. I mean, I know Gavin is out there somewhere.
Probably. I doubt that he's in condition to try to make his way out of the city.
I'm so worried about him. He's been hurt and nobody knows how badly. He's probably scared half out of his mind and he's all alone.
Yeah, but still he's running away, Jody. That's not a good thing. Hope he comes to his senses.
I hope so, too. Do you think he will?
Oh, well, knowing Gavin, how he feels about you, I think probably before long that phone in there is going to ring. It'll be him on the other end of the line.
I hope you're right. I would give just about anything right now just to hear his voice. Even just to know that he's all right.
Miles, I just thought of something. It might be the worst thing for Gavin to try to contact me.
Why?
Well, because the police know about us. I mean, they might have cops watching the building, and they're waiting for him to get in touch with me.
Could be.
Well, what about the phone? Do you think the phone could be tapped? I could be the perfect lead
Jody,
to him.
the phone is not tapped. Don't worry about that.
Miles, I just want to be with Gavin. I don't care what they say he's done. I just want to see him. I just want to know that he's all right.
Stoner, Bobby, can I come in for a minute?
What do you want, Calvin?
I'd like to talk to you for a second, Bobby.
What are we going to do?
Well, you better let him in and let's get it over with.
Calvin, you picked a really bad time to come by. I'm not feeling very well.
Well, look, Bobby, it really won't take very long, I promise.
No, I just got out of the shower. I'm dripping wet.
Okay, I'll just wait till you throw something on, okay?
No, it's not okay. Listen, couldn't you come by another time? I'll see you at Sid's, okay?
Bobby, you don't work at Sid's anymore, do you?
No, but you see me there. I'll be around. I really don't want any company right now, Calvin.
Look, Bobby, I'm trying not to make this an official call, but if I have to knock on the door again, you're going to have to talk to Detective Stoner.